Hi and welcome. Today a Selfmate once again. Now if you're new to Selfmates, I'd advise you to watch my previous two videos first. The links are in the description. But nonetheless, this one, as you can see, is quite different. Because here Black has a lot of different pieces he can move and a lot of different moves he can make. And none of them look like checks, because White's king is sitting on b1 quite safely. And when you start thinking about it, the only check Black can make is to take a queen. But why on earth would Black willingly take a queen and deliver a checkmate? I mean, who does that? Well, so how do we force him to do that? Now, the most obvious way looks like playing queen to d3, check. And as Black king doesn't have any moves, as all of those squares are covered, the only move he has is to take the queen with a bishop, which yes will be a checkmate, but not like that, because here a rook can take the bishop. So first we'll have to prepare queen to d3. And how we can do this is to move the rook away along the b file. But does it matter where we play the rook? As it turns out, yes, it does. A lot. Firstly, a rook to b4. Now if Black plays just anything, we'll play queen to d3 and bishop to d3 will be a forced checkmate. But he doesn't have to play just anything. He can be a bit more tricky. In this position, he can play d3. And now queen to d3 no longer works, because he can take with the rook, and it's not a check. So, what White can do, another option, is queen to e2. Now this is a check, and as the queen is defended, the only move Black has is to take a queen with a discovered check. But it's just a check, because here White can block. So we can see that rook to b4 wasn't a good move. Secondly, a rook to b5. Could this be the one? Well, it turns out it isn't, because here Black plays a rook to f5. Now queen to d3 and queen to e2 are both just checkmates. But White has another check, queen to f3. Now once again, forcing Black to take and deliver a discovered check. But similarly, White can block. So it's not a checkmate, and rook to b5 was also not a good move. So thirdly, a rook to b6. Could this be the one? Well, once again, it's not. Because here he plays a rook to g6. Now neither of those checks are good, because those are checkmates. So the fourth option, the fourth check, is queen to g4. Now once again, the idea is the same. Black has to take with discovered check. But yes, thirdly, White just blocks. So it's not a checkmate. So the fourth option, this one has to be good, as the rook from b7 cannot block the check, as it doesn't cover any of those squares. But yes, you can quite see the problem here. Black plays f5, and now if White tries the same idea, delivers the check, and forces to discover check from Black, yes, it's again just a check, because yes, rook cannot block, but it can take the bishop. So if rook to b7 also isn't good, then there's only one option left, and only one hope we have, and that is rook to b8. Well, luckily, it turns out rook to b8 is a good move, because now any of the previously shown Black's tries will not be just a check, but an actual checkmate, as the rook will not be able to block or take the bishop. So I've already shown all those variations, and as previously mentioned, if he plays just anything else, then queen to d3 will be the correct move, as the Black will be forced to take, and it will be a checkmate. And the puzzle... Ah yes, I forgot. After rook to b8, Black also has two more defenses, knight to c2 and knight to b3. And both of them stop queen to d3. Firstly, knight to c2, queen to d3, bishop to d3 is not a check anymore. And knight to b3, queen d3 is met by knight to d2. Black doesn't have to take, and it's once again not a checkmate. But both of those two moves are met with queen to c2. And as knight is no longer covering the square, black is forced to take with the bishop, which once again is a checkmate. And the puzzle is solved. Thanks for watching, have a great day and see you in the next one.